Hello and welcome to Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. I am Dr. Mahindra Dhakad, Assistant Professor, Gyan Vihar School of Education, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. Today we discuss about Atma Yoga. This is a teacher training session second. This session is most useful for B.Ed student, M.Ed student, B.Ed teacher, professor, educators and school teacher also. First we see the Vedic philosophy. Six school of Vedic philosophy. Shaddarshan is the sixth aspect of knowledge. Shaddarshan means Vaisheshik, Nyay, Yog, Sankhya, Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa. Some are aesthetic darshan and some are theistic and some are both. All six used to be practiced as one set, now taught independently and very sectarian manner. The Vaisheshik philosophy related to atomic structure. This philosophy propounded by Maharishi Kanad. In Nyaya philosophy is related to logic, inference and logical thinking. This philosophy propounded by Maharishi Gautam. Yoga philosophy is related to mystical unfolding of the mind. Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga also include in Yoga philosophy. Yoga philosophy propounded by Maharishi Patanjali and Sankhya philosophy related to categorization. This philosophy propounded by Maharishi Kapil and Purva Mimamsa and Karma Mimamsa both are same. The Karma Mimamsa propounded by Maharishi Jaimini. This is related to material responsibility and benefits, and Vedanta philosophy is related to absolute truth, and this is propounded by Vyas Devji. Vaisheshik Nyay philosophy is theistic and Purva Mimamsa is related to aesthetic. Yoga, Sankhya and Vedanta are aesthetic as well as theistic philosophy. Vedanta literally means end of the Vedas, but it is interpreted as culmination of the Vedas. The Vedic text on Vedanta is called Vedanta Sutra. Essence of Vedanta Sutra is inquiry into absolute truth. The first verse of Brahma Sutra is Athato Brahm Jijisha. We must know inquiry into the absolute truth. The second verse immediately answers Janmadaya Asya Yatav. The absolute truth is the original source of everything. Tendency with the absolute truth is not to understand of four parts as described in the Vedas. Universal form means God is nature, Brahm, the whole of the absolute truth, energy of God. Third is Antaryami, localized as the absolute truth in your heart. And Bhagwan, the opulent divine personality, God as the person. Need to keep all four in mind. A yogi may choose to only focus on one to create his own relationship with the absolute truth. The sun, we see analogy of absolute truth and sun. The sun has four facets that are comparable. The sun products grains, plants, fruits, animals, etc. Sunshine pervades the planet and localized everything we see the sun makes visible. And fourth is the sun as the glowing ball in the sky. And we see the progression of the philosophies. Virtue declines. Cleanliness, austerity, honesty and compassion are most totally degraded during the period. During Kali Yuga, these virtues go to 25% and go down from there. According to Dharma view, cleanliness transform in illicit behavior, austerity in intoxication, honesty, truth come in deception, and compassion is come in animal killing. It is the evidence of history that at a certain time every society attains its manhood when a strong conflict ensues between the ruling power and the common people. The life of society, its expansion and civilization depend on its victory or defeat in this conflict. The beginning of the triangular fight between ceremonialism, philosophy and materialism. The Charvak, the Jain, the Buddhist, the Shankara, the Ramanuj, Kabir, Nanak, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Brahm Samaj, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, all of these and similar sects, the wave of religion, forming, thundering, surging, breaks in the front, while in the rear follows the filling up of social wants. If all desires can be accomplished by the mere utterance of some meaningless syllables, then who will exert himself to go through difficulties to work out the fulfillment of these desires? From revelation to fashion, a pattern of tamasic cooptation. The Charvak, who upheld materialism as the highest goal of life. The Charvak or materialist, basing his doctrine on the first part, the sacrificial portion of the Vedas, believed that all was matter and that there is neither a heaven nor a hell, neither a soul nor a god. The Charvak movement was the beginning of that caste questions And that triangular fight in India between ceremonials, philosophy, and materialism, which has come down unsolved to our own days. Hence, the slashing sarcasm of the Charvak, who believed only in the reality of sense perceptions and nothing beyond. What could have saved Indian society from the ponderous burden of omniferous ritualistic ceremonialism with its animal and other sacrifices, which all but cursed the very life out of it, except the Jain revolution, which took its strong stand exclusively on chaste morals and philosophical truth. Or without the Buddhist revolution, what could have delivered the suffering millions of the lower classes from the violent tyrannies of the influential higher castes? When in course of time Buddhism declined and its extremely pure and moral character gave place to equality bad, unclean, and immoral practices, when Indian society trembled under the infernal dance of the various races of barbarians who were allowed into the Buddhist fold by virtue of its all embracing spirit of equality. Then Shankar and later Ramanuj appeared on the sense and tried their best to bring society back to its former days of glory and to re-establish its lost status. Progression of philosophy, the teaching of motiveless work brought a momentary lull in the struggle between the priest and the kings. The tug of war, and throughout the Shrutis it can be distinctly traced. A momentary lull come when Sri Krishna, leading the faction of Kshatriya power and of Gyan, showed the way of reconciliation. The result was the teaching of the Gita, the essence of philosophy, liberality, and religion. The Jains were very moral atheists who, while rejecting the idea of God, believed that there is a soul striving for more perfect development, objecting to the killing of cows and bulls, killing of goats and all sorts of animals. Now declared the Jains that is no work at all, because injuring others can never be any good work. And they said, this is the proof that your Veda are false, Veda manufactured by the priests. The social wants at the time of Buddha Buddhism was the rebellion of the newly formed Kshatriyas against Vedic priestcraft. After the lull caused by the reconciliation affected by Sri Krishna, the ambition of the two classes, Brahman and Kshatriya, to be the masters of the poor and ignorant was there, and the strife once more become furious. Buddhism combated not only priestcraft and animal sacrifice. It was the first to break down the barriers of caste. These different social divisions developed or degenerated into iron bound caste, and an organized and crystallized priestcraft stood upon the necks of the nation. At this time, Buddha was born, and his teachings were the revolution. Original Buddhism was but an attempt to combat caste and priestcraft. It was the first in the world to stand as champion of dumb animals, the first to break down caste standing between human beings. Buddhism broke the chains of the masses. All castes and creeds alike become equal in a minute. Brahmana power was almost effaced from its field of work in India during the Jain and Buddhist revolution. Buddha broke the mental and spiritual bonds of a man by preaching Vedanta to whole world. India was full of witchcraft in Buddha day. There were the masses of the people, and they were debarred from all knowledge. If just a word of the Vedas entered the ears of a man, terrible punishment was visited upon him. The priest had made a secret of the Vedas that contained the spiritual truth discovered by ancient Hindus. What Buddha did was a break wide upon the gates of that very religion which was confined in the Upanishads and to a particular caste. Buddha preached the most tremendous truth. He taught the very gist of the philosophy of the Vedas to one and all without distinction. He taught it to the world at large because one of his great messages was the equality of humanity. Human beings are all equal, no concession there to anybody. Buddha was the great preacher of equality. Every man and woman had has the same right to attain spirituality. That was his teaching. The difference between the priest and the other caste he abolished. The reason why Buddhism had to die a natural death in India to break the tyranny of priestcraft, Buddhism swept away the idea of the personal God. The aim of Buddhism was reform of the Vedic religion by standing against ceremonials requiring offering the animals against hereditary caste and exclusive priesthood and against belief in permanent soul. It never attempted to destroy that religion or to overturn the social order. The reason why Buddhism had to die natural death in India, Buddha is said to have denied the Vedas because there was so much killing. Buddha wanted no pandering to the priest, the powerful, the kings, no bowing before the superstitious tradition, however hoary, no respect for forms and books just because they come down from the distant past. He rejected all scriptures, all forms of religious practices. Even the very language Sanskrit, in which religion had traditionally been taught in India, he rejected so that his followers would not have any chance to imbibe the superstitions that were associated with it. A lack of particular original Buddhism eventually required manifestism, and the lack of virtue in this age. Within a century, Buddhism splintered into a mass of superstitions and ceremonialism. In this state, neither the priestly class nor the administrative class emerged as a clear ruling class. India was in disarray and modified Vedic tantric rituals began to remerge. Buddha fashion sets the stage for the next revolution. Enter Shiva. My dear sir, always remember this. Chekaru, Chekaru, Sanknath. Sri Chaitanya is Lord Shiva himself. Sri Chaitanya is the spiritual preceptors of all the Vaishnavas, and for this reason Sri Chaitanya has acclaimed him as an Acharya, great preceptor. Sri Chaitanya is the perfect Vaishnava. About 800 AD, Lord Adi Shankaracharya delivered the philosophy of Advait Vedanta. Nirvishesh Advaitad. Reintroduce the validity and importance of the Vedas. Focus the philosophy on Shuddha monism. idea of oneness without variety or identity, with God all beyond that is illusion. Everything including God is false. Only the concept of God is one without variety and is real. It was the world Buddhism meant is mislead the atheist Mayavadi. A major misunderstanding Advait Siddhi versus Mahabhav. Impersonal, impersonalist versus personalist. Fanaticism lead to misunderstanding fascism. The theory is that as long as Brahma, the non-dual transcendental truth, remains singular, he is transcendental to Maya. They propose that when he accepts form and become the Jiva, he acquired diverse shapes and is thus afflicted by Maya. The notion was rejected by Chekarnan, Chekar Karne, who said he always remains separate. Naryau Paro Vyakt. Naryau exists separately apart from impersonal creative energy. In about 1017 AD, Ramanuj Acharya delivered the philosophy Vasisht Advait, qualified monism. Although everything is indeed united with God, there are real difference between the soul and God. Ramanuj established philosophy by using the seven impossible tenets, the Advait Vedanta, nature of avidya, and incomprehensiveness, grounds of knowledge, location of avidya, avidya, obscuration of Brahm, removal of avidya by Brahm Vidya, and removal of avidya. Sirsa 1100 AD. Dvaitma dualism is established by Madhvacharya ji. Emphasized and defines the difference between God and the world. God, the word, and the soul. Direct opposite to monism, Madhvacharya was portion of Vaman, Brahm, Ananta, Shesha, and Shanak Kumara. Sirsha circa 1200 AD, Dvait Vad was introduced by Nimbarkacharya ji, first to identify the Supreme as the divine couple, The four Kumaras, the sage children of Brahma, who didn't want to grow up, just wanted to meditate. Initiate Nimbark. Vishnu Swami was the founder Acharya of the Rudra Sampradaya and is the oldest of the four recognized Sampradaya. Born in 3000 BC, recorded, recorded teaching in 200 BC, 900 AD, and 1300 AD. In 1300 AD taught Vishuddha Advait. God is Vishnu. Vallabhacharya was the son of the student of Vishnu Swamiji. He taught Shuddha Veda, Shuddha Advait, Shuddha Veda. Everything is one with personal God Krishna. Sirsa 1486 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expounded Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. God is inconceivable and simultaneously one and different. Analogies drop of water and ocean, grain of sand and beach. Six Goswamis systematize the knowledge communicated by Lord Chaitanya, distinction between quality and quantity. Summary Vedant demonstrates multiple facets of the absolute truth. God is good behavior, Vedanta of Buddha. God as energy, Vedanta of Shankaracharya. God as form, Vedanta of Ramanuja. God as separate person, Vedanta of Madhvacharya ji. God as a loving couple, Vedanta of Nimbarkacharya. God as source and maintainer of all creation, Vishnu Swamiji. God is all of the above and then some, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. This is the Vedanta progression of philosophies. Thank you.